My mother abandoned me and my sister when she got married to a rich guy who rejected us. Now 15 years later she reached out to us. Removed. She's not coming to Canada in November on vacation without using you guys as a reason. Don't let her. Right now we only allow people in with important business or to see immediate family. You are literally a visa stamp. Don't respond. Good point. Then simply ignore her. You don't have to respond. Just delete her. Block her. And she can sort herself out. Y'all are doing great it seems without her, and I imagine it would be best for y'all to continue doing you without your mother pestering you after abandoning you for her own greed. If the only opportunity she's using to go see op is during a vacation, then that is pretty tacky to say the least. Most certainly. Not that she want to see them in general. Just that she happens to be going on vacation out there. Probably figured she would stop by to ease her guilt and then go back home and never speak to them again. She gave up her privileges of motherhood when she gave up the responsibilities of motherhood. You have absolutely no obligation to her. She's just a person in the world. My grandmother was the middle child of 5. Her mother abandoned her to the state, but kept the other 4 children. In those days, foster care was just a way to get free domestic slave labor. On her death, the mother got someone to call my now married gran. All gran said is my mother is dead to me. Damn straight. She gave up her privileges of motherhood when she gave up the responsibilities of motherhood. My comment is useless. Just wanted to say that this is beautifully put. What an awful woman. An awful stepfather to encourage that behavior. You were abandoned. Homeless. Exclamation mark. And just look at where you are now. I'm so proud for you and your sister on what you've done with your life. I wouldn't have any contact. It's a sad thing to find, but mostly people don't change. And I'm afraid for your heart that she has discovered you two are now successful and wants to use you somehow. I hope you and your sister go on to have wonderful lives. I cannot imagine the struggle of being purposefully orphaned at 9 so that the parent could go live a lavish lifestyle, then coming back after all the hard work was done to ask for forgiveness. How convenient. My daughter will be 9 in April and I won't be able to enjoy anything that came from choosing to leave her behind. This parent is damaged goods. Tell her I'm sorry ma'am, you must have gotten the wrong number. My mother died when I was 9 years old and I alongside my sister were left homeless. Please do not contact again or I will file a police report. Save response on this thread lol. You don't owe her anything. Block her from sending you messages and ignore it / her. I'm sorry you had to through all of that alone. Block, ignore and make sure she can't find your address. Make sure the school is informed that they shouldn't give out your address to some woman who might show up somewhere in November. Yes, this is very good advice. Make sure anyone who could give your information knows that you don't want them to. As a man who grew up with terrible parents who ultimately killed themselves, one from alcohol, one from suicide, I can tell you the best thing you can do is live your life and stay away from your mother. You don't owe her anything. She owed you the world when she brought you into it. You've done really well on your own. I did really well on my own. Keep working hard and loving yourself and your sister. You will feel guilty. Acknowledge it. Remind yourself that you don't owe her anything. And keep moving. You're an amazing person for getting where you are with strength, courage, and dignity. Best of luck to you. I would unfriend and her block her. It may or may not be worth sending a message to tell her that she made her choice long ago and that neither of you wish further contact, and to stop attempting to contact you again. If you don't want her in your life, then don't. No one can blame you. But don't give her a chink in the door to get her foot in. Just cut her out of all contact. I had something similar happen to my mother and grandmother. My grandfather decided to leave my grandmother for another, much younger woman, and left Nana to take care of 3 small children by herself. After years of no contact with my grandfather, he suddenly reappeared in our lives wanting to make amends. Turns out he had needed a kidney replacement and his new wife never gave him children. So he looked us up in hopes that one of his grandchildren would be a match and want to donate a kidney or he would most likely die. I'm not saying that Op's mom wants or needs something similar, But when estranged relatives come back looking to reconcile, it's because they just need something from you and not necessarily want to see or connect with you. You're better off without her. Opus, you and your sister have grown up and overcome so much without her. The woman that gave birth to you may be related to you by blood, but that doesn't make her family. Yes, this is what I'm worried about. Maybe her husband got tired of her. You two are incredible for making such good lives for yourselves after all of that. I don't blame you for not wanting to see her. I would just send back a short, simple message telling her neither. If you are interested in seeing her again, she should deal with her guilt on her own and not lay it on you too. All I can say is I love you and your sister. Proud of you too. Like I said in the last post, ignore her. Let the regret eat her ass up. Married a girl who abandoned her own kids. Might be rich but not smart. In response to your texts asking how we are, since you abandoned us for your new, comfortable life of privileges. These things have happened. We lived in abject poverty. Grandma died, leaving us alone as minors. We went hungry to feed ourselves and live. We entered into circles that led to crime and drugs. We survived thanks to the kindness of strangers. We built our lives with the skin of our teeth and the sweat of our brow. Through tears and toil, we pulled ourselves out of the pit you had left us to die in. We did it all without you. Who would call yourself mother? You don't deserve to call yourself that. You don't deserve to be part of the life we have built. You have no place in it. You didn't want us. We don't want you. Semicolon. Semicolon. Block. Next time I need to send an angry but classy message I will hit you up. Right? Ice cold but scorching. And not a single word out of line. If neither of you want to see her or talk to her, then don't. Don't let this woman consume your thoughts. She's not worth it. You don't owe her anything. She may have brought you both into the world, but that means nothing because she abandoned you both. You're doing well for yourselves and all she wants to do is reap the benefits of it and claim that she is the best mom. By ignoring her and getting on with your lives, you are showing her that you do not need her. My mother abandoned me. Won't go into detail here. Want to detract from op, and years later said she wanted to meet up to talk about what happened. I met her for coffee and she began to tell me why she abandoned me. Audacious excuses. She was clearly trying to justify her decision and ease her own guilt. It had nothing to do with me, but she never cared about me. Op, your mother made a conscious decision to not have you and your sister be her children. Make her live with that decision. I have never heard a happy ending where an abandoned child reconciles with their parent. You and your sister are doing great. Don't let any negativity get in the way now. Block her on all social media and keep moving forward. Much love and respect to both of you for taking control of your lives and flourishing. Yes, this is only about herself. She does not suddenly care about you and your sister. Just ignore her. She was non-existent for the whole of your life, so there's no connection there. She's a stranger, and you don't know her motive trying to reconnect with both of you. It could be nefarious. Who knows, since she's basically a stranger. Never talk to stranger. Block and go NC with her. Tell her she chose this 15 years ago. She is not a mother. Ignore her as she ignored you. You don't need to respond to her if you don't want to. You survived without her. You don't need her in your life. Just ignore it and block her. She doesn't even deserve to have a reply. She chose money over her own family. She's probably reaching out because things went south for her and only has you and your sister left to rely on. Talk to your sister first to see what she thinks. Either send a message or find her in person and tell her, I have no mother. You'll never be my mother after what you have put us through. There is nothing to forgive as you never cared. You are dead to us as we were discarded by you. Go back to your family that you chose to please. Go back to the people who wanted nothing to do with us. Go back and take care of your new children. The ones you've showered with more love and care than you've done for us. Leave us be. And never talk to us again. It's perfectly okay for you to just block her without answering. If doing that without responding first would make you uncomfortable, it's also fine to respond with not interested. Do not contact me again. Or simply no, followed by a block. It's also fine to want more information before you make a decision. In this case, you haven't wanted anything to do with us for 15 years. What changed? Is short and sweet. You have no obligation to this woman. Don't give her anything unless it will make you happy. And don't tell her anything about your sister without your sister's permission. If you want to go to get closure and find out why she chose to abandon you and your sister, and to get off your chest any pain and confusion you and your sister have both suffered by her, then I say go and get that closure. But if you want nothing to do with her, then that's okay too. You and your sister seem to be thriving and doing amazing. Her loss. Block her then. Don't keep reading the messages. It's like picking at a wound. It won't help you heal. Mate, you and your C's are where you are because of your own will. You only had yourselves to live and progress. I'm a father and I can tell you that I would never leave my son behind for anything. So a mom whom carried you inside her belly? Screw her. Just block her and carry on progressing. The way I see it, she will only bring issues in your life. Why did it get removed though? Question mark. Is there a problem with this post? Cause I see none. Only one answer to this subhuman. Block in everything. If she comes in front of you, spit her face and walk away. Don't talk to dead people. She probably wants a kidney or something. Posted on the last one. But I will say it again. Do not reach out to her. I wouldn't respond even once. She cut you out and you and sister are doing really well now. Responding even once will open the floodgates for her. You and sister have every right to not want a relationship with this woman. Stay happy and healthy in Canada. Tell her you hope she enjoys her vacation. That you hope it will be just like her honeymoon. It will help her forget you both existed, as that's the way you'd like to keep it. Now that you've both been through hell and come out of it without her. If she doesn't like it. Canada's a big country and she's not very good at finding you in a timely manner. If you don't want anything to do with her, you could always take your time in making a list of all the horrible things that have happened in your life, detailing how they made you feel. Once done, you could send your mother that list and ask her if she actually believes there's anything she can do to make amends. If she has any shame, you'll never hear from her again. And if that doesn't work, just tell her to leave you alone. Do you want to talk to her? If yes, be prepared that it will go badly. But it's okay to try if you want to. If no, then don't. If she keeps harassing you and you don't want to deal with that, just block her. That's what the block button is for. She is not reaching out to you to help you in any way. She's reaching out to you for herself for some reason. Maybe she has a guilty conscience, or she's bored in her new life, or maybe she just needs a visa pass. But if she really wanted to help you, she would have found a way to do so when you really needed it. You guys could have died and she would not have cared. Now that you're doing well and have taken care of yourselves, only now she seems interested in you. Ask yourself, if you guys met with her, who will that be for? You or her? Why are you afraid of insulting her? She abandoned her children into poverty. The fact you're here is a testament to your own sister's resilience and kindness of strangers over blood. I can't imagine the pain and anger you feel. Do you want to tell her how horrible she is? Tell her what she did to you and what your life was like. She deserves it. You deserve to say it if you want. Or maybe you're past it. If that's the case, then simply continue no contact. Better than reopening old wounds. Everyone on here wants to tell her off. Feel pain, emotional, for what she did. What do you think? What would you want if you talked to your mom? Tell her what a piece of shit she is? Sounds like mom's built a perfect little life. I'm curious what her social circle would think of her abandoning her children. Could be super awkward for her to explain that. Sorry, I'm ruminating on ways to inflict pain because I'm just so angry for you. In the end, you and your sister need to decide what is best for you. I know this is serious and all, but $10 says Op's mother got dumped for a younger and hotter girl and she's now wanting Op to help and take her in. And just ignore her, she's horrible for leaving you and your sister. Ignore her if you don't want her in your life. She made a choice a long time ago. Now you have made yours. You two are on a great path. Don't let her get in the way of your future. Sometimes DNA means nothing more than you're related to somebody. This isn't some sort of holy contract you have to fulfill. Go on and be great. So much respect to you both for getting through this and coming out on the other side as you did. Take what you can from her and tell her to duck off. You control this, not her. Only agree to see her if it serves you/your sister. I don't know if it will give you closure to hear from her why she abandoned you. If you do agree to see her, make it very clear what your boundaries and conditions are. Good luck, and both of you should be very proud of where you are. Congratulations. While I applaud your resistance to it, I'd personally invite her over and give her the full shakedown of how much of a selfish piece of shit she is, and that if the cosmos were fair, she'd be a diseased whore living in a roofless cardboard box. Guilt trip that bitch to suicide. The first thing I thought is that she wants something from you. Maybe to donate a kidney for one of her other children or something. The reason I'm ignoring her is that I don't want to insult or call her names or say bad things to her. Apostrophe. I admire your desire to want to spare the feelings of the woman who abandoned you. You could block her on everything without responding to her. That will get your message across. I wonder though, if maybe you might benefit from telling her exactly why you have no desire to have her in your life. You could tell her what you have shared here and then block her on everything before she has a chance to respond. That way you are not subjected to her rationalizations on her behavior. Like others have said, ignore her. I'm glad you guys are doing better now. Ghost the ducking bitch. She didn't even send money? Fuck that selfish bitch. Yes, no mother. I won't bother with her. Dear, no. Mother, there will be no meeting. You were not there for us when we needed you. We are doing well due to the kindness of strangers. It is too late to pretend we now matter to you. We forgive you, but we do not forget. Enjoy your vacation. It must be very tiring dealing with your wealth. Please, do not contact us anymore as there is nothing to say. You want to get her off your back? Simply answer her that you are happy that she is finally willing to take responsibility for her children and are eager to meet to discuss all the money that she owes you back in child support and education expenses. That will shut her up for good and shame her publicly as well. Double whammy. How old were you when your mother got married? When she moved to UK? How old now? Judging by what he wrote, he is 25 or 26 years old. He was 10 or 11, maybe even 12 when they got married. Probably about 11 to 13 when they went to the UK. Just block her on every media platform. She has no right to know about you nor your sister. She lost those privileges when she chose to abandon you both. Just block her and continue thriving. You both deserve the best. And that person, that herself, your mother, ain't it? Ignore her. Never talk to her. You owe her nothing. Please don't give her the privilege of being in your head. I'm proud of you both for what you have overcome. Keep going strong and don't let her back in. You and your sister are good people. I say go the high road and meet with your mother once to hear her out and leave it at that. I'm so sorry you got a shitty mum. My mother left my dad with 4 kids under 5 because when he was drunk, he was abusive. I understand that. He was always loving and sweet to us, but she didn't fare well. We all got split up and put into different orphanages after. The pain for us was that she only visited us once, and that was to sign us over for adoption. I spent the whole time with her crying. Years later, one of my sister and I get adopted to another country. I search for my family as an adult and reconnect with her to try and locate my other siblings. She wants a relationship with us so hard. Being older now, she's lonely and poor. When I was younger I always missed her and wanted a relationship. But after years of abandonment, that pain of not having a mum turns cold to protect yourself. The tears dry up, and nothing ever makes up for the pain of not being worthy. Maybe have a list of all the questions, all the hard ones, and send it to her. There might be something that makes your pain soften. It's more for closure of you and your sister. I finally met my mum to try and find out if the reconnection was genuine. It wasn't. She wanted me to take care of her in her old age, and it made it easy for me to walk away once I had everything I wanted. She's a stranger to me. I'll probably be sad when she dies, but I won't regret my decision. I hope you are really proud of what you and your sister have achieved. Sending you both much love. I'm so sorry, Opus. This internet stranger is so proud of you and your sister. Honestly, I would react the same way you did. I don't think you owe your egg donor nothing. Not even a response. If you can't write her back without calling names, then don't write nothing. Block her on all social media and let her deal with your silence. But if you feel sending her a message you always considered, write a formal letter stating that you don't want nothing to do with egg donor and demand she stop trying to reach out because you and sister don't have any interest in having a relationship. Semicolon. I hope you find closure and happiness. Opus. From similar family situations that I have seen, this is probably complicated for you, and you probably have a ton of emotions about all this. You may want to unravel those emotions with therapy and maybe see her someday, but that should be on your timeline, not hers. You decide when you are ready. Respond that I'm not ready to see you, and I will get back to you when I am. Keep me up to date on your contact information and our reunion might be at your death door later. Zero obligation to let her back in your life. You and your sister are thriving through incredible adversity. Your story is one of incredible strength and fortitude. You did this all on your own. Your mother brings no value to your life nor joy. If you crave wanting to reconnect with her, then do so. If you think it would be cathartic to tell her off and then cut off contact, feel free to do so. Just make sure that, if you do respond, that it's on your terms and just make sure you're ready to open that can of worms. I'd say duck it and let her watch you from a distance, knowing your success has nothing to do with her and she doesn't deserve one sentence of your attention. You let that linger or just block her so she doesn't even enter your mind and distract you from this journey you've had to self-sufficiency and the happy place you are in now. First, I'm sorry what you both went through. No child deserves to go through something like that. I don't know what your mother wants in general. Maybe she is remorseful for what she did, or she is seeing how you both are doing financially and is trying to mooch off of it. The red flag for me is her asking for forgiveness when her actions for me are beyond forgiveness. If she were actually repentant she wouldn't ask for forgiveness as she would know she doesn't deserve or earned it. My only advice is to listen to your instinct. I don't know if your half siblings know the type of person their mother is. Lastly, if she is truly sorry she would respect your decision/boundaries and stop contacting you both. As a mother I happily vote for you to stay away. It is inconceivable to me that I could ever cut my babies out of my life, let alone for a man. The idea that my little chickens would be sad and wondering why their mummy wasn't there breaks my freaking heart. Clearly, it didn't break hers. She was, to an extent, happy to live the high life while her kids grew up in poverty. F her. The only exception I would make cold-hearted would be to see if she is offering money or opportunities that could benefit you. Then go and see. Because why the hell not? Either way, you will never owe her anything. Be good to yourself and your sister. From a logical standpoint, and one devoid of emotion, I would say that you continue to ignore her. You and your sister, from how the post reads, managed to create a wonderful life with an amazing future for the both of you. And adding new mom who abandoned you will not, in my view, better your circumstances in any way. This will only add more stress and drama that frankly no one needs. But alas, she is your mother and I'm sure some part of you will wish to meet her, even if it's for closure. But here I can speak from experience that closure is overrated. Live your life with your sister and move on. The best thing you can do to spite her is to live a good life without her. Oh, forgot to add this above. She just wants to connect with you guys cause the hard part is done. You guys are now to an extent set in life and now she will want to swoop in and take all the credit for your and your sister's hard work and struggle. Be happy and do what feels right up. I shall root for you. Hey man, when I was 14 years old my father left me and my mom. This year, the day before he passed away, I got to talk to him through the phone for the first time in 10 years. His health was too far gone for an actual conversation and I wish I had contacted him earlier to try and understand his actions. You don't have to forgive your mom, but right now you have the privilege of choice. Being able to get in contact with your mom and talk about the situation can make you a stronger person. My mother also comes from humble background, and when I was 6 years old she did meet a guy who was going to make her life better. However, His requirements was that I either move to my grandparent or to a boarding school. My mother said no, and that if he loved her he'll have to accept her with me. Obviously the guy said no. Eventually my mom did better in life by her own, and did end up meeting a nice guy who also accepted me. I don't want to judge your mother, and I understand that people do need a second chance of life. But some things in life, like leaving your kids behind to be with another person, it shows lots of their character. Also, it's weird she's doing that now that she knows you guys are doing better in life. Ignore her. She deserves no part in the lives of her elder children. No excuses for abandonment. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.